Well, hey.
Good morning, Donna. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well. Running a little bit late this morning,
Just
but
a little.
just a little. But I did make it. We can probably get a short 15-minute program in here. Just want to say hello to everybody today, and I know that a lot of people's watching the inauguration and all the things that's happening in Washington, and whether you agree or disagree with the election, I wish our new president very well, and I hope he does good and keeps his promises that he's made before the people. And I heard somebody say the other day that wishing for the president to fail is like wishing for the airline pilot to crash the plane you're riding on.
Exactly.
And so I think we all need to do what we can to try to support him. And I took a little flack back 8 years ago when President Obama was elected. It wasn't my choice. I didn't want him to be elected, but he was, and I made the statement that he is now the president, and we need to try to support him the best we can, even if it's by nothing but prayer and praying for him and making sure, that he is still the president of the United States. We must honor that. And a lot of people give me a lot of flack for that, but that's just the way I feel about it. That's the way we have democracies and elections, and people have spoken, the person they want's in there, and nothing we can do about it. So let's try to make the best of it, do what we can, and move on. And so for those that's against President-elect Trump, he's not president yet, I don't guess. He's not sworn in yet. But with President-elect Trump, if even those that are against him, I think that, that we ought to wish him well and wish our country well and hope that it's a success.
Tim was just telling me what song to play for his uncle. His uncle passed this morning.
I did not know that. Our condolences go out to Tim and his family. And
I saw you had posted something about one of your detention officers lost his grandson.
His grandson was actually one of the children in the Atlanta pit bull attack. It was his grandson down there that died. And there was a couple others, kids that's still in the hospital and trying to come through that. But I was sure most people that's watched the news have seen that, where the children were walking to school and were attacked by the dogs. And it was our detention officer's grandson was the child that got killed in that incident. So our condolences go out to their family also. And just a lot of different things that's happening. Our administrative assistant, one of our assistants, her dad passed away this week, and they're having a funeral there for that. So we just got a lot of stuff going on there at the sheriff's office, not to mention the calls and the different things that's happening. Yeah. So, a lot of people are experiencing loss right now, and we just want our prayers and our thoughts to go out with them during these difficult times. But changing gears just a little bit, just a reminder, we are having our award ceremony tonight for the sheriff's office, and we want to take a little time to honor law enforcement in our area, and not just the sheriff's office, but the hard work that Highway Patrol and the PDs and the U.S. Forest Service and TVA and everybody else that's in our area. We all have a good working relationship. We work well with each other. A lot of information sharing and those type of things. So we can't do it just by ourselves. It takes everybody to be involved in that. And so, a lot of people ask questions in the past and in the future, about sheriff's office and relationship with police departments and doing things within the city limits and all that. And it's still part of the county. We still have jurisdiction there, but we can't do it all. We can't handle everything in the cities and in the county, too, with the staff and resources we have. So we really depend on those folks and depend on them to help us fight the crime that's out there. And
of course, if you're fishing illegally, they might not like all the enforcement.
May not like that, yeah. I've caught a fish or two I probably shouldn't have had, but and it's not fun when you're on the other end of it, but it is necessary, and I sometimes wish we didn't have game seasons and all those kind of things myself. But the fact of the matter is, if we didn't and we didn't have laws and regulations, we would deplete what's out there and wouldn't have those resources. So it's a good thing that we have those rules and regulations. And there's some of us that have to enforce them, even though people may like them or may not like them. We have to enforce them. So. But we just wanted to recognize our people and not just the police officers out there and deputy sheriffs, but also detention officers 911 dispatchers, a lot,
Well,
lot of different.
Everybody.
You're right.
It needs to be recognized because
Right.
you couldn't do it all.
Well, the thing about it
I mean,
is,
it's not like Mayberry anymore.
right. And the thing about this, especially with law enforcement these days, a lot of times law enforcement doesn't get put in the forefront or doesn't get recognized or talked about unless something bad's happening and unless they've done something wrong or there's a problem. And then it gets pushed to the forefront and they're the topic of everybody's conversation at that point. And so I think it's important to understand that on a daily basis. I can't remember the exact numbers. It's something like there's 5.4 million law enforcement contacts every day with the public, And so every day officers are out there doing a good job and doing things professionally and dealing with the public. But you have that one shooting incident or you have that wreck from a high-speed chase or something, and that gets plastered all over the news, and that becomes what people think about law enforcement. So I think it's important for those who work day in and day out and do a good job at what they do. I think it's important to take time just to recognize them and recognize the fact that they are good employees. They are doing a good job. And if nobody else recognizes them, we do, and we appreciate them.
How true. How
Yeah.
true.
A lot of things have been going on in the area lately. One of the questions that keeps coming up is about the incident in Marble where the young man was beaten to death. We still have not got a resolution to that. We've been meeting with the DA on a daily basis, doing interviews with witnesses and talking to different people that was involved in that, has information about it, knows things about it, doing crime scenes and those kind of things. So we are still working on that. Hopefully we'll have a resolution over the weekend or the first of next week on this so we can put more information out. It's a little bit complicated case, and the reason it's a little bit complicated is because of the people that's involved in this could be considered suspects or they could be considered victims, either one. So we're being very careful about what we say about who, because there are victims' rights and different things out there for people who are victims of crime. So we're trying to wait till we get some type of resolution to this and make decisions between the sheriff's office and the district attorney's office before we try to put that information out there.
Right.
and try to give some information as to what happened. And so, like I say, hopefully over the weekend or first of the week, we'll have some resolution to that. And as a matter of fact, I just met with the Superior Court DA yesterday and the DA herself yesterday and talked about these and some other issues. And so we're in the process of doing a press release and do something public very shortly. So hopefully if you'll just stand by, that'll be coming out before too long. I know a lot of people's anxious about that. It's a small community and
Yeah.
rumor mills are turning. A lot of people are saying different things, and so we don't want to be contributing to misinformation that's out there. We want to make sure that what we put out there is true and correct. And if it's one of those things where there could be a possibility of a crime, but you can't prove it now, it's one of those things that we don't want to say and do things that would taint a case later on down the road somewhere.
Right.
So
Exactly.
there's just a lot of things to consider when that's going on. But we've been very busy this week, very busy the last couple of days. Except for me, I wasn't too busy the first part of the week because I had a stomach bug. So I kind of
Well, you
come
were
in and
busy
out
in a different
in
way.
in a different way. But I came in Tuesday, I guess it was, and I called up front and told the assistants, I said, I'm in my office, and if anybody needs me, I'm here, but don't come back here unless you need me because I'm trying to stay away from everybody. So, but I did work a little bit Tuesday and worked a little bit Wednesday, but yesterday was my first full day back and trying to get back in the swing of things, and after being sick and getting caught up on everything that's happened through the week and trying to get all these different
when
things.
You have that, when you have that going
Right.
on, it drains you
Well-
completely. You feel like you have just run two marathons.
Right. Well, it's kind of funny because when it ended up on Wednesday, I had a pain in my stomach like I had a knife turning in it.
Uh-huh.
And I told my wife, I said, one of two things is happening. I said, I'm either got some bad stomach flu going on or somebody in the county's got a voodoo doll with a knife stuck in it. I'm not sure which was going on, but I knew one of the two things was happening. But getting back in the swing of things and getting back to work, the last couple days especially has been very busy. We've made several arrests over the last couple of days. We've had several car chases and foot chases in 2 days. I don't know what the situation there is, but why everybody decided yesterday and today was a good day to run. But Highway Patrol had a chase this morning, first thing this morning. Andrews PD had one yesterday morning. We had a couple last night. Graham County had one last night. We had 2 different foot chases yesterday. So just we're not really sure whether the Brian Edwards had an escape from Graham County over there, and so I don't know what the situation was, whether people was just really scared that Trump was getting sworn in as president today, or whether it was just the National Running Day. I'm not sure what it was, but yesterday and today there's a lot of people that decide they didn't want to go to jail that day. So,
we came along an accident this morning on the way to school
Right.
in Fairview.
Right. Yeah.
I think he just took the turn too fast and
It happens. It certainly does.
hit the mud.
Yeah.
You know, you can't go off the road right now and not hit the mud.
Right. We had a substantial arrest last night, though, that we put 5 people from Atlanta in jail.
Woohoo.
They were all gang related, and were here for nefarious reasons. We'll be doing a press release on that later with some details, but basically these 5 individuals were charged with armed robbery here in Cherokee County, and was charged with some various weapons violations, stolen weapons, and those kind of things. So our officers were in a very dangerous situation last night, but did take care of that, got these people in jail. And so we're happy about that we got this done and nobody was injured or hurt. But we'll be doing, like I say, a press release later on today about that to get some information out about it with names and kind of a synopsis of what happened with that. So as you said a while ago, this is not Mayberry anymore, and
Nope.
we're having to deal with these situations on a daily basis. And I know it's not.
Barney needs more than one bullet.
There you go. And it's not just the sheriff's office either. I know that listening to the radio, Murphy Police Department is going full board, wide open all day, every day. You know, Andrews Police Department is going wide open. But especially down here in Murphy with the traffic and with a lot more things are happening in Murphy than say Andrews. But Andrews is staying busy too. I mean,
I saw blue lights all day
Right.
yesterday afternoon.
So they're by no means easing up or slacking off up there. They're working just as hard as anybody else. But Murphy is kind of in the same shape the sheriff's office has been. Just the influx of people and traffic and all these different things has just put an extra strain that trying to figure out how to deal with and and get through that.
And Monday being a holiday, there were a lot of extra people out and about
Right.
on Monday.
Right.
Really. Not just local.
Well,
people
one thing
that
that's
came in from out of town.
Yeah, and one thing that's very different now than it was when I started law enforcement was when I started a little over 20 years ago, that you could, when you went on a call, you kind of knew who you're dealing with. You knew the family. You knew kind of what their mindset would be when you got there. You kind of knew whether they'd want to fight or not fight, or whether you could talk to them or not. You kind of had a pre-plan before you ever showed up on scene, because you kind of knew what you were walking into for the most part. But it seems like today, with the influx of people coming into Cherokee County, we're dealing with these people like these individuals last night that's all from Atlanta. They're all affiliated with gangs. They're all affiliated with drug use and stolen weapons and those type of things. And it brings a whole different crime element and a whole different situation to the things that we're dealing with. So when those type of things are happening, then law enforcement, we have to step up our game, and we have to be more professional and have to have better trained and better equipped and
That's
all
what
those
I
type
was
of
saying.
things.
You had to have the training,
Right.
different training.
And one of the things, several years ago, it's probably been, I guess probably 6-7 years ago now, I worked at the sheriff's office as a gang investigator. And one of the things that people said at the time was it was a grant-funded position. And a lot of people said, well, you're not really doing that. We don't have gangs here. We don't have this kind of stuff going on. And my response always was, from what I saw then, was we don't have a gang problem. That's a fact. But we do have a gang presence, and we do have people here that are affiliated with gangs, that are affiliated with all these other things. And over the years, we have seen, taggings and markings and spray paintings and tattoos and, clothing and all these different things that affiliate people with gang activity. And so we have to be trained on that, have to be vigilant about that, that we know who we're dealing with and who we're talking to. We're working with our detention center about that also, because just housing inmates, you don't want to put rival gangs in the same cells or on the same block. So we're having to deal with all that also.
Check their colors, right?
Yeah, make sure you know who they are and who they're affiliated with. But and then you have the whole ordeal with when you talk about gang activity, the white supremacy groups, and all those type of things. So you can identify a lot of people, even though they may not say they are or admit they're affiliated. You can tell by tattoos, you can tell by clothing, you can tell by different hand signs and different things who they're affiliated with. So we try to, just make sure that we don't house people in the same place. How are you doing, Mr. Aldbrown? Good to see you this morning. That's all right. That's all right. He can't sneak in here. I ain't going to let him sneak in here and sneak back out. Just want to say hello, and we appreciate you and everything that you do. Yeah. You have a good day, okay? All right. I'll get done here before too long. No, it's
Close it.
It's good to see y'all and
You gonna get it? Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you.
You're welcome. But I know we're kind of an abbreviated show today, but we just kind of want to let people know that we're still working. We're still out here trying to do the best we can to fight the crime that's in our area, and hopefully we'll get some of these press releases out before too long so people have more information on what's going on. And like I say, if you're out tonight and you're not going to a ball game or you don't have other things that you're doing, if you'd like to swing by the Hackney Warehouse and visit with us there and just listen to some of the things that's going on in our community and some of the good things officers are doing, feel free to drop by. We'd love to see you.
That's neat.
All right.
I'm glad that it's good recognition.
There you go. We always love good recognition.
Yeah. Well, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you for showing
I'm sorry
up.
I was late today.
We called him Pokey behind his back.
There you go.
All right, let's take a look at our weather, brought to you by Carpet Mart.
From the WKRK Forecast Center, I'm meteorologist Jennifer Naramore. We're going to keep a lot of clouds around for the rest of today with a passing shower, the high from the mid-50s to the upper 60s. Slight chance for rain tonight, lows upper 40s to the mid-50s. And then very active weather this weekend